Indonesia dan juga bisa menjadi role model dari pemirsa di rumah. Sukses selalu dan sampai berjumpa kembali.
Terima kasih udah undang aku. Thank you so much.
Dan pemirsa Women's Talk, demikian perbincangan hari ini bersama dengan Kartini Teknologi Indonesia. Semoga bisa menginspirasi Anda. Dan saya Prisa Samudatu pamit undur diri. Jangan lupa untuk selalu menyaksikan Women's Talk dengan sejumlah wanita-wanita inspiratif nasional lainnya. Sampai jumpa.
President Joko Widodo acknowledged the of government data was still low. Due to company's financial problems, Garuda Indonesia will cut more than half of its aircraft fleet. Hello, good evening, viewers. Market Alliance is ready to provide you a number of information from business, economic, and capital market sectors. And as the pandemic is still ongoing, we'll still provide you the latest COVID-19 information. And please stay safe by taking less physical distancing, avoiding your hands, and having less mobility. With me, Wicky Adrian, this is Market Headlines. In the opening ceremony of the Government Internal Supervision National Coordination Meeting in 2021, President Joko Widodo acknowledged that the accuracy of government data was still low, so it needs improvements and database synchronization.
President Joko Widodo acknowledged that the accuracy of government data was still low, so it needs improvement and database synchronization. The President conveyed it in the opening ceremony of the Government Internal Supervision National Coordination Meeting in 2021.
Perihal akurasi data juga masih menjadi persoalan sampai hari ini. Dampaknya kemana-mana. Contoh data bansos yang tidak akurat, tumpang tindih, membuat penyaluran menjadi tidak cepat, menjadi lambat, dan ada yang tidak tepat sasaran. Begitu juga data penyaluran bantuan pemerintah lainnya. Data pemerintah pusat dan pemerintah daerah sering juga tidak sambung. Ini yang terus harus kita perbaiki. Dan BPKP harus membantu mengawal peningkatan kualitas data yang dikelola pemerintah.
Jokowi ordered BPKP to oversee integration, synchronization of inter-program databases to improve data reliability. The President also said that the effectiveness of internal supervision requires commitment and good management. The President assessed that there were still mistakes that were repeated from year to year because they did not follow the recommendations of the BPKP and APIP. IDX Channel reports.
The The Financial and Development Supervisory Agency, or BPKP, said that there are 4 keys that can create effectiveness for government programs in dealing with the impact of a pandemic. One of them is planning and budgeting stages for various programs.
Head of the Financial and Development Supervisory Agency, or BPKP, Muhammad Yusuf Atta, revealed that 2021 is a momentum to encourage national economic recovery and rise from the COVID-19 pandemic. He said that there were 4 keys that could create effectiveness for various government programs in dealing with the impact of a pandemic.
Setelah 1 tahun mengawal penanganan pandemi, kami menemukan banyak pelajaran berharga agar program pemerintah berjalan lebih efektif, baik untuk penanganan COVID-19, pemulihan ekonomi, maupun program strategis pemerintah lainnya.
The first key is that the effectiveness of the government program is very much dependent on the planning and budgeting stages of the program activities. Therefore, government spending must be well designed and clear, including its impact and measure of success. The second key is that government policies and programs must be orchestrated in harmony between central and local government agencies. Third, data that must be accurate, valid, and well managed, because it is the key to simplifying monitoring and reporting. Finally, the success of government programs cannot be separated from being alert to identify problems and formulate solutions quickly. Therefore, he emphasized that the national and regional budget are important instruments for handling COVID-19 and for national economic recovery. IDX Channel reports.
The Health Ministry estimates that the massive people mobilization that occurs after Eid will have an impact on the increase in COVID-19 case in June.
Deputy Health Minister Dante Saxono Herbuono said in the last few days there had been an increase in cases and reached over 5,000 per day due to the mobilization that occurred after Eid and Ramadan. Not only that, he said there would be an increase in COVID-19 cases in mid-June, and the peak of the increase in cases is predicted to occur this week. Apart from the increase in population mobility, the increase in the number of positive cases was also due to the discovery of a number of new COVID-19 mutations from India, Africa, and the United Kingdom. In total, the Ministry of Health has found 54 cases of this new mutation. The 54 cases consisted of 35 variants of cases originating from migrants or outside Indonesia, and 19 cases were found in Indonesia.
Adanya eksternal faktor dan adanya endogen faktor. Eksogen faktor berkaitan dengan mobilisasi penduduk yang ada. Mobilisasi penduduk ini diperkirakan akan mencapai peningkatannya pada minggu-minggu ini. Kita bisa melihat bahwa pada 4 hari terakhir, maka kasus peningkatan kasus baru itu mencapai di atas 5.000.
Dante added that to prevent a large increase in cases, the Ministry of Health continues to increase vaccinations, where vaccination currently stands at 500,000 injections per day and is targeted to reach 1 million doses per day in the near future. From Jakarta, Ade Firmansyah for IDX Channel.
Economists assess the government's discourse to hold tax amnesty volume 2 should not be continued. Economists see the government is only pursuing a momentary target and reflecting on the first volume of tax amnesty. The finance ministry is considered to have only succeeded in achieving one target but failed on 3 other targets.
The discourse on the second volume of tax amnesty that will be carried out by the government is estimated to only pursue short-term targets. This is what makes economists and Sri Hartati concerned about the efforts made by the government. And it say that based on 4 main objectives in the law number 11 of 2016 concerning tax amnesty, the results obtained by the state from the first volume of tax amnesty only succeeded in fulfilling one goal, namely encouraging an increase in taxes. In the year, the tax amnesty was in effect by 50%, which resulted in a ransom 130 trillion rupiah. Unfortunately, the goal of admission cannot be repeated in the following year. Meanwhile, the other 3 objectives, namely to encourage the flow of repatriation funds, were considered a failure because they only generated 146 trillion of the estimated 1,000 of trillion. Then the third goal of increasing economic growth also failed due to the fact that from 2016 to 2019, there was stagnation in economic growth. And the fourth objective of increasing the tax base has also failed because the tax ratio has fallen further. Nevertheless, the government plans in the second volume of tax amnesty to use the tax amnesty law to increase the compliance of taxpayers who are participants of tax amnesty in the first volume. In addition, in the draft amendments to the law on general provisions and tax procedures, the government also encouraged the continuation of tax amnesty to focus more on increasing taxpayer compliance. From Jakarta, Raharjo Patmo for IDX Channel.
Market headlines will be right back after the break. Stay tuned.
Kedatangan WNA asal Tiongkok ini menjadi polemik lantaran Indonesia tengah memberlakukan masa larangan mudik lebaran.
Kita minta untuk diberlakukan pengetatan.
Ya, pemerintah memutuskan untuk membuka tempat wisata di tengah larangan mudik.
Aku pengen ngajakin nih kalau ternyata kayak mulai dari nol itu nggak ada yang nggak mungkin kok gitu, semuanya tuh bisa asal kita tuh kayak punya semangat, kita kerja keras gitu. Jadi itu motivasi buat aku dan motivasi juga buat teman-teman generasi muda untuk berkarya lebih mudah.
Berdasarkan hasil referendum per 7 Maret 2021, mayoritas masyarakat Swiss menyetujui perjanjian dagang Indonesia.
BNI dengan dukungan Kementerian Pertanian meluncurkan program Millennial Smart Farming.
Warga Amerika yang sudah mendapatkan vaksinasi penuh dapat kembali beraktivitas seperti keadaan normal.
Terlihat ini yang menurut saya menjadi sentimen negatif buat di pasar komoditas bagaimana penguatan untuk menekan harga komoditas.
Welcome back. Government will impose higher tax for high wealth individuals or people with income above 5 million rupiah. Currently it is 30%, but later on government plans to impose 35%.
The government, together with the House of Representatives, will revise the law on general provisions on tax procedures. Through this bill, the government will increase tax rates for the rich. Minister of Finance Sri Mulyani explained that the bill would change the individual income tax rates for the high-income group. However, the changes are only limited to the tax rate for individual income groups above 5 billion rupiah. From previously, it was 30% to be 35%. The proposal to impose a dual tax to the super rich in the country came from the International Monetary Fund and the Organizations for Economic Cooperation and Development suggestions. It aims mostly to finance the handling of the COVID-19 pandemic. From all sources, IDX Channel.
Yes, if it is agreed by the House of Representatives, government will raise taxes on the wealthiest Indonesians to reduce inequality, fund programs benefiting lower-income households. Moreover, there is COVID-19 pandemic, but speaking of which, generally, the rich generally pay more of their incomes in taxes than the rest of us. It is stated in the bill regarding personal tax income. I will break it down for you through the next graphic. This is personal income tax, 30% of tax imposed to the people with the total income in a year as much as 500 million rupiah. Meantime, 25% of tax imposed to the people with income from 50 million to 250 million rupiah. Meantime, 15% of tax imposed to the people with the income from 250 million rupiah to 500 million rupiah income, and 5% of tax or personal income tax is imposed to the people with income as much as 50 million rupiah. And previously, people with income above 500 million rupiah gets 30% tax, including the people with income above 5 billion rupiah. So the government, through Ministry of Finance, will add more segment here, which is above 5 billion rupiah. These people will be imposed 35% tax. But the finance minister said that the people are very few in society, so it will not burden the society. Many people assess that 35% on tax is a huge number. But then, if we see other countries, for example, America or United States of America, we are way under them. Even President of America, Joe Biden, plans to raise capital gains tax for the rich in America. The tax will increase by up to 43.4% to cover the burden of social costs. Imposing tax on the rich, or so-called as wealth tax, has been suggested all around the world, mainly from the international organization. So which international organization that are involved in this case? Let's check the next graphic. The wealth tax suggestion came from International Monetary Fund, or IMF, and then the other organization that initiated the wealth tax suggestion is OECD, or Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development. And furthermore, the OECD in early April 2021 even reported that 26 out of 66 countries in the world has made breakthrough in increasing revenue amid the pandemic. These countries generally use income tax instruments. The Millionaires for Humanity organization even mentioned that a number of billionaires expressed their willingness to help their country through the payment of the wealth tax they owned to deal with the COVID-19 and economic recovery. Indonesia, a survey was conducted by localities and Millionaires for Humanity. 79% of respondents support the application of wealth tax in Indonesia. But the question is, will it be significant? According to Sri Mulyani, the rich in Indonesia is not the majority, but still there are plenty of them. Therefore, in the next graphic, let's see how many are the high net worth individuals in Indonesia. In 2020, the number of high net worth individuals in Indonesia reaching 21,430 people. In 2025, it is projected to reach 45,063 people. And we compiled the data from Knight Frank. A recent study by Knight Frank, a consulting firm based in London, predicts that Indonesia will have 21,430 high net worth individuals, or people with a wealth of more than $1 million by 2020. This number will increase 110% in 2025. Meanwhile, those with a net worth of more than $30 million are categorized as ultra high net worth individuals or very wealthy individuals. The report states that there are 673 people in this category by 2020, with the number expected to increase rapidly by 67% to 1,125 people by 2025. Indonesia will have the fastest growing number of super rich individuals in Asia. And not only that, another Forbes list also reveals that 15 Indonesians are among the 100 richest families in the world. Let's see the data through the next graphic. This is the list of richest Indonesians. Definitely, they are my inspirations in doing business someday, hopefully. We have Hairul Tanjung with the net worth of Hairul Tanjung as much as $4.8 million. After that, we have Prayogo Pangestu, $6.5 million. Sri Prakash Lohia, $6.5 million. And Michael Hartono, $19.7 million. And Budi Hartono as the richest Indonesian, with the total wealth as much as $20.5 million. We compiled the data from Forbes. But then the richest are usually the same people, according to core Indonesia economist Yusuf Rendi Manilep. The cost of the list of rich people in Indonesia has not changed much from year to year. It is because the majority of their wealth still comes from a cigarette, palm oil, mining, and banking businesses. This condition is due to the fact that Indonesia's economy still depends on the commodity sector, but still, as the number is growing, we hope that more people gain momentum and can grow wealth in the country. And we hope this step could benefit Indonesia as the country's deficit has reached 553 trillion due to economic consequences of the COVID-19 outbreak. Besides, it can reduce the inequality as well. And stay with us because Market Headlines will be right back after the break.
Presiden Joko Widodo memiliki optimisme yang tinggi terkait dengan proses vaksinasi nasional yang sedang dilakukan saat ini. Bagaimana tanggapan dari pengusaha dengan angka ini?
Tentu membuat kita harus lebih berhati-hati.
Langkah apa yang tepat dilakukan untuk bisa meningkatkan pemahaman masyarakat?
Komunikasi publik adalah kunci. Jadi kita harus bisa menunjukkan kepada masyarakat bahwa vaksinasi itu penting.
Ya halo pemirsa, nama saya Mangivera Tjong. Saat ini saya menjabat sebagai presenter dan juga associate producer. Saat ini saya membawakan program IDX Session Closing, di mana di program tersebut saya menganalisa isu-isu ekonomi yang menarik, baik dari luar negeri maupun juga dari dalam negeri. Tentunya hingga saat ini saya masih terus belajar dan saya sangat menikmati profesi tersebut.
Menteri Kesehatan Budi Gunadi Sadikin menargetkan vaksinasi COVID-19 akan rampung pada minggu ini. Level-level 6.200-an ini menjadi level krusial juga ya.
HSG mungkin masih berpotensi menguat ya. Karena kita lihat juga kalau misalkan secara domestik.
Kedatangan WNA asal Tiongkok ini menjadi polemik lantaran Indonesia tengah memberlakukan masa larangan mudik lebaran.
Kita minta untuk diberlakukan pengetatan.
Ya, pemerintah memutuskan untuk membuka tempat wisata di tengah larangan mudik.
Berdasarkan hasil referendum per 7 Maret 2021, mayoritas masyarakat Swiss menyetujui perjanjian dagang Indonesia.
WNI dengan dukungan Kementerian Pertanian meluncurkan program milenial Smart Farming.
Warga Amerika yang sudah mendapatkan vaksinasi penuh dapat kembali beraktivitas seperti keadaan normal.
Terlihat ini yang menurut saya menjadi sentimen negatif buat di pasar komoditas karena penguatan ada komoditas.
Welcome back, and we're on the last segment at the Jakarta Composite Index Intraday movement. Earlier today, JCI was open at the level of 5,874.38. Then approaching the closing time of the session, the index was on the level of 5,888.2. Then the index was showing a weakening trend by the second session closing time. Index was closed at the level of 5,841.83. In short, JCI went down 0.45%. And next, we're going to see the sectoral movement leading the dynamics of today's trading. We got industry that went up 1.92%, and non-cyclic went up 1.81%. Meanwhile, finance went down 0.6%, and health sector went down 0.3%. And moving on to top gainers and top losers, here are the key highlights from today's trading session. Pegas went up 1.82% to the level of 1,120 rupiah per share. Arto went up 6.85% to the level of 12,475 rupiah per share. And after that, we have Telkom went up 2.42% to the level of 3,380 rupiah per share. And MDKA went up 2.35% to the level of 3,610 rupiah per share. And the top losers for today's trading, we got BBCA went down 1.34% to the level of 31,350 rupiah per share. BBRI went down 2.71% to the level of 2,430 rupiah per share, and TBIG went down 3.95% to the level of 2,430 rupiah per share, and Bank Mandiri went down 2.54% to the level of 5,750 rupiah per share. And next, we're going to see the intraday movement of rupiah towards US dollar. Opened at level 14,306. Rupiah was also showing weakening trend towards US dollar. Was closed at level 14,313. In summary, Rupiah went down 0.05%. National airline Garuda Indonesia will cut more than half of its aircraft fleet. This decision is taken due to company's problem. One of the problem is debt reaching 70 trillion rupiah.
President Director of Garuda Indonesia, Irfan Setiaputra, said that up to now, the debt of this national airline has reached 70 trillion rupiah. Irfan said that the amount of debt continued to increase by nearly 1 trillion rupiah every month due to company's inability to pay off the debt. This May is the worst month for Garuda Indonesia. President Director said that the company's revenue is predicted to be only 56 million US dollar, while the monthly operating costs reach 15.6 million US dollar for the aircraft leases and 20 million US dollar maintenance, and to pay employees of 20 million US dollar. Apart from reducing the aircraft fleet, Garuda Indonesia also plans to cut the number of employees. One of them is the early retirement offering scheme for the employees. IDX Channel reports.
On the other hand, Garuda Indonesia offers early retirement program to its workers. Garuda's management said the move was taken as an effort to survive and restore the Red Plate Airlines performance amid the pressure of the COVID-19 pandemic. This early retirement program will be effective from July 1st, 2021, and however, starting on May 19, Garuda Indonesia management has opened registration for its employees who are willing to participate in the program. The program is in line with the efforts to restore business performance that are currently crashed down. It is estimated that Garuda Indonesia's financial performance will fall down again this year due to COVID-19 pandemic. As of the third quarter of 2020, Garuda Indonesia's revenue fell 67.85% to 1.14 billion US dollar. Previously, it was 3.54 billion US dollar back then in the third quarter of 2019.
Perlu kiranya kami sampaikan bahwa program pensiun dipercepat ini ditawarkan secara sukarela kepada seluruh karyawan. Kebijaksanaan ini menjadi penawaran terbaik yang dapat kami lakukan pada saat ini, yang tentunya senantiasa mengedepankan kepentingan bersama seluruh pihak.
Moving on to construction sector, Adikarya will support its subsidiary Adi Commuter Property to conduct initial public offering.
Adi Commuter Property, subsidiary of Adikarya, is about to go public. For now, it is in the preparation process. Operation Director of Adikarya, Punjung Setiabrata, is optimistic that the IPO will attract the market's interest. This is in line with the property industry, which is growing again after fell hard last year. In addition to the IPO plan, it turns out that ACP has already held 2021 public bond offering. The offer was held on May 2021 and was a great success with the achievement of 500 billion rupiah. The high demand bond shows a very positive market response of ACP. So the company hopes that by the end of this year, we can conduct an IPO with the proceeds targets of around 30%. IDX Channel reports.
And step aside from market condition as coronavirus pandemic takes big role in current economic situation. And here is an update data about coronavirus globally. And the news close our market headlines today. Please enjoy our next program on IDX Channel, Your Trustworthy Economic, Business and Capital Market Channel. And don't forget to always wear face mask in public, keeping safe physical distances, and washing hands to break the chain of COVID-19 infections. I'm Wicky Adrian. Have a nice evening and stay safe.
Wijaya. I'm associate producer and news presenter on Market Headlines. As Market Headlines starts at 4:30 p.m., which is in line with the closing market, therefore we summarize the market conditions only for you. And my job in here as a journalist, I give concise and accurate news for the audience. And also, being a journalist is not only a job for me, but it is also a passion.